discussion on the topic leveraging technology in procurement, AI, automation, and the digital revolution. And to do so, we have with us a moderator, Dr. Neeraj Dhabhai. He is the Vice President Commercial at Rainbow Children's Hospitals, where he leverages his deep expertise in supply chain management and healthcare to drive business growth and operational efficiency. He holds a Doctor of Pharmacy degree from Jawaharlal Nehru Technological University, Anantapur, and an MBA from the Wellinger Institute of Management, providing him with a strong foundation in both pharmaceutical sciences and business administration. Everyone, please welcome with a very big round of applause our moderator, Dr. Neeraj Dhabhai, on the stage. Please keep applauding everyone while we also call upon the stage our panelists, Mr. Rupesh Kharbanda, Senior Vice President, Moglix. Big round of applause for him. Ms. Hanuma Pogaru, Director, Supply Chain Transformation, Capgemini Invent. Dr. Arnab Banerjee, Director, Supply Chain, Micron Technology. And Mr. Brijesh, Kabra, Head Procurement, Ramky Infrastructure Limited. Everyone, please give them a very big round of applause. And requesting all of you to please match yourself with a picture on the screen and please be seated.
Good morning, everyone. So before starting a panel, which is leveraging technology and procurement and automation through AI or digitalization, let us talk why we need. Is it really required? Are we just going in a flow? Everyone is talking AI, your kid in 5th standard, start having subject of AI. Is it a revolution or just a push of market? Everyone is talking on AI, let me also do something in AI. So I'll give you a two perspective before starting a discussion where we are heading from long years. You might be heard from your parents or you might be evident in 1980s. What was the story of Bajaj scooter? Hope you're aware, in 1980s, we supposed to apply application for a Bajaj scooter. First step, there will be lucky draw. Are you lucky to get that? Suppose you're excited, I have been nominated or selected for a Bajaj scooter, you'll have a Diwali at home. Second step, waiting period. Waiting period will be 1 year, 3 years, or maybe 10 years. And from there, if you see that the procurement is manual planning, allocation of demand, even you have a prepaid customers. From there to now, when we are sitting, you can order in Flipkart a two-wheelers. If you just search on Google, click on looking for a bike, you select color, you select delivery date, you can order a two-wheelers at online. This is a transformation which is happening in the entire logistics, you can call, or a business perspective. This is something which I feel, you feel is okay. I am ready to wait for 6 months. Why I should push for this change? We realize the importance until something is hitting us clinically or life-saving. So I belongs from a hospital segment. So I'll give you a second perspective. You know, what kind of numbers are happening in terms of cancer patients in India. There are a lot of cancer patients are reportedly in each corner of country. Now, first problem, we need to understand why it is happening and how we are going to address this. So when we are planning a remedy through medication, generally any cancer is a liver cancer or any specialized organ, when we define a drug, first thing is required to understand what kind of dosing is required. So which results into the accuracy in terms of delivery of medication to a targeted organ. Generally, the practice is doctor sees a body surface and weight. Through body surface and weight, they define how much dose to be given to a patient. There's a high chances a fatty guy of same weight have a different size of organ. And 25% of dosing of chemotherapy generally is overdose or underdose. So now, will something resolve this issue? When we are talking on procurement, I'm just connecting to procurement only, the dosing part, what dosing need to be given. So when we talk, AI is not only looking for a solution, getting things early or right. It's saving lives sometime also. So when we use AI-based model to identify how much dose of drug need to be delivered to a person, just CT scan report need to be uploaded in the model, and model will give you an answer how much to be dose administered for a specific patient, which may vary person to person. So there, I feel yes, AI is required. Let's discuss to my colleagues what is their perspective in specific area, because here we have a diversified team. There are problem created like us and the real estate guys where we know the problems. There are guys from the consultant background. There are guys from the software industry who know how to resolve those problems. So we'll start with Mr. Arnab Banerjee. How is your organization is currently using AI or automation in procurement process?
Yep. Thank you, Neeraj. So coming to the, I can directly start with, okay, we are using AI in this part of the procurement process and that part of the procurement process. But before that, I would just like to take probably 2 minutes to talk about why is AI important in these processes today. See, AI at the end of the day is some kind of an algorithm. And if you see algorithm, it has been there for last 10, 15 years. Okay, we can take this classical example of supplier selection. So supplier selection as an intelligent product has been available in the market for last 10, 15 years. Okay, if you go to Oracle, if you go to SAP, if you go to Ariba and all these products, it is already having Coupa, GEP, it is already having that. And it is there not today, for last 10, 15 years. Then where or why is AI so important or why we are talking about it? The difference is, if we look back 10, 15 years, when we were looking at the capabilities, when we were looking at the algorithms, these algorithms were using the direct data. So for a supplier selection, it will be directly looking at the supplier performance, the cost and price and things like that. But now why AI is becoming so important is it is looking at multidisciplinary of the data. So today when we are talking about supplier selection, I'm not just talking about like what is the cost of the product being provided by these suppliers, how is the quality, how is this technical specification, the fitment of this technical specification and all those things. But now I am even looking at whether they publish any sustainability report or not. What is their scope 1, scope 2 and scope 3 reports and how much are their investment. And even I'm looking at how much of problems they had historically in their plants if it is a supplier. So these are multidisciplinary data which we are taking and then we are taking a decision. So that is the power of AI and that is why we are talking about AI. So coming to your question, Dr. Neeraj, we use it in every aspect, but the key aspect is first price benchmarking and also looking at like obviously supplier selection is there, price arbitrage is there. Then we are looking at also using of AI when we get the Resilience report, right? So how do we simulate if there is a Resilience report saying that there is a volcano eruption in Japan or there is a drought in Taiwan, how is it going to impact my supply chain? And we, with the use of AI and with the use of automation, we are even able to simulate all the way till it is not just impacting my procurement, how many of the orders it will impact, how much quantification of that, and even which all customers I will get impacted because of that. So I'm able to simulate all of them. So we call it as the virtual war room and all. So these are the kind of AI tools we are using. Obviously, I talked about the price benchmarking and all those things. We are looking at classification of the indirect spends. We are looking at the maverick spends and how we classify it and what kind of training are needed so that we control those maverick spends. So these are some of the examples, I would say, Dr. Neeraj.
So Arnab, if I just re-word it, your inputs is, we got a co-pilot with us who's assisting us, who's helping us to take a right decision. So it's not ki the practice which we are following was not there in past. It was there, but now we are having better control in our actions. Anyone you wanted to add anything on this?
Yes, definitely. Whatever Arnab has said is, in the erstwhile years, we were having the low spends or we were having not that big this thing. But today, the quantum of the business has increased in so much. And we have done all the things for saving the tangible savings. Because what we call tangible savings, now the market is competitive. There is no much left over the rate part negotiation. But if you see the other side, intangible savings, that is where the AI can value add and bring the cost down.
Okay. So Hanuma, you would like to add anything on this?
Hello? Yeah. So I'll just bring a different perspective from technology aspect as well. So if we see from 1990 to 2010, mostly it is like AI, most in terms of repetitive tasks, RPA. So that's a kind of technology that has come. But last 5 years, if you see, it's mostly like Gen AI, where you can converse with the technologies and understand what is happening. And now agentic AI is coming in place where most of the things can be automated. So 3 generations and 3 different types of tasks that you can perform. One is mostly all repetitive tasks, automating those so that human can focus more on value-added tasks. Now, instead of going through all the reports, maybe you ask a question and you get the answer. Again, further more concentration of your efforts in terms of the value add. And then now with all the agentic AI that is coming in place, you will be primarily focusing as an orchestrator for already the processes that are happening on ground, but how you can bring strategic value. That is where the human importance comes in. And all the regular tasks can be automated. So that's where the technology angle is coming in, and that's how it is adding value to procurement and supply chain.
Thank you. So I'll come to Rupesh to you. What does data analytics play a role in improving your decision making in supply chain?
Okay. So I'll start. I think everyone is talking AI, right? So AI still, I think we are not understanding the impact of AI, right? I'll go a little, we used to buy a brick and mortar from Big Bazaar or shops, right? Then it started 7 days delivery, 3 days, 4 days. Now we are 10 minutes, 5 minutes, right? It's it's causing because of definitely it's a lot of AI is in place, right? I'll give you a classic example that how AI is not related to procurement. So my daughter, she attends a lecture, so there is an AI app. So when the lecture is recorded, so she automatically gets all notes, what questions to be asked, what could be the probable questions from that entire lecture can come in exam. So that's where the AI is taking us. I think the new generation is taking it definitely much easier than our generation. Coming what Neeraj you asked, right? So at Moglix, right, we are a B2B digital transformation organization, right? AI has been very, very integral part what we are trying to do in the industry. It's totally different. We are challenging the current ecosystem of procurement, right? How we can transform through digital transformation, right? We have multiple use cases, right? From better procurement, better risk management, better supplier readiness, right? So I'll touch more on data, right? Data spend analytics and how we are using that analytics, right? So two pieces. One, especially Arnab also mentioned on the indirect side, right? Indirect, we have millions of transactions we are doing, right, across different organizations. And every organization is different, from a steel to cement to automobile, right? And there are millions of transactions with our AI inbuilt engine, right? We are able to clean that data up to 90% accuracy in 2 hours, depending on number of 2 hours or half an hour or 3 hours, right? Otherwise, it used to take maybe around 5 months, 6 months, because you manually have to go through it, right? So with that AI engine, we have built more than I'll say 10 million clean product data lines, right? And now we feed just information into it. We get output that how cleaner is the data. With that data, we can deep down geography-wise, that which geography, which industry is struggling, which category is struggling, where supply chain is weak for this maybe electrical category, or mechanical category, or safety category, where investment is required from inventory, warehousing. So that level of AI has been used on a day-to-day use, right? That's where we are able to generate better of savings, better of delivery tab, able to reduce the production losses. So that's where I think good use case we have.
Yeah, very well articulated. So I would add one thing: data house plays a role in clinical, because whenever I comes any point, I wanted to bring on the life part. Any hospital will have a big setup hospital will have a 500 to 700 patients, and at real time they have at least thousands of drugs are prescribed and administered to the entire gamut of patients. Now there are many drugs which have a drug-drug interaction, drug contraindication based on our disease, or many more alerts which need to be known by clinicians. But many of the time, clinician will not have time, or he will not know there's a cross consultation. One doctor prescribe A drug, second doctor prescribe a B drug. So it's very difficult to identify the chances of adverse reaction or some error in the patient. Generally, we used to have a clinical pharmacist as a person who goes bed to bed, check each file, reconcile the drug, and identify where are possibility of some errors. And they call to a consultant, inform them, sir, your patient number 102 bed, chances of drug-drug interaction, 2 doctors have given a drug which is not supposed to be given. So it was really a tough job. One pharmacist, clinical pharmacist covering an entire building. Now, with the help of AI, or some guys are using RPA, where they have given a pre-feed to the RPA, which drug have what action with the other drug if we administer within half an hour of the duration. Plus, lactation contraindication, pregnancy contraindication, those things is very tough manually getting a control on that. So now through AI, whenever the prescription generates on set frequency, whenever they are dispensing drug, the alert comes, contraindication, mild, major, severe. So which can be alerted to a doctor, and it's a life-saving many times. So I'll come to Brijesh, to you. How do you identify a part of your procurement cycle which can be automated? If you are...
Yeah, a very good question. Before that, I just wanted to say that I come from an infrastructure background where we are mid-mature. We are still using the laggard process, but we wanted to go for best in class. We are in halfway journey, but yes, this question resembles the challenges which I face in infrastructure company. And to answer this, I would first like to take the slide number 4 of Mr. Alok Jain, which he has told that what are the challenges which we are doing and what are the major problems which we are facing. Rather than going with the strategic mode, still we are continuing with old manual laggard process. We are doing the same kind of the repetitive works which are there. We are maintaining our files into either file folders or in the hard drives. Is it the same resemblance, at least in mid-matured companies? Do you feel that resemblance? Because Alok has told it in the slide number 4. Apart from that, Mr. Dhabhai has also showed with his risk one, where we are doing the 27 checklists manually. So these all concerns and challenges are exactly the need of the place where you need to go for digitization. Even if your industry is not that matured, even if you're not getting that complete roadmap of digitizing, start with low-hanging fruits, where the companies are now dealing with thousands of invoices which can be automatically processed for invoice booking. Earlier, it was OCR technology, now it is ASN. So ASN is a tool where the supplier uploads the invoices, the system does the two-way matching, three-way matching, and the GRN is punched, and it is sent to the finance for the booking. That is a simple process. The second is with respect to the tail spend management. Yes, I would just add on to what Mr. Kharbanda has said. We have our 80% of the volume going for the 20% of the spend in the terms of what we call as tail spend, maverick spend. Lots of PRs are raised, lots of purchase orders raised. Now the tools and technologies are coming in that you enter into a supplier portal, you punch out a catalog, you get it into your system, it goes in the approval flow, where the PR is converted directly to the PO. No procurement guy intervention comes. So these are the things. Now your contracts are there. They are either stored in file cabinets or hard drives. You can digitize those contracts where you can find out in the click search about that from the contracts. You can maintain the library. Apart from that, whenever the contract is going to expire, it gives the trigger. So these are the small things rather than going to AI and all. Yes, what they are talking is with respect to matured organizations, but we are still in midway. So these are the small things which we are doing, and definitely this will elevate you to your next level of getting it, because ultimately we need to bring the efficiency, get the transparency, and save the cost, and this can help.
Yeah. Thank you. So Hanuma, I'll come to you. When we are looking for AI, how it can help you in vendor selection, contract management, and evaluation?
Yeah. So regarding your question on supplier performance, supplier selection and all, so if you see just to give an example, right? If a company, like a food company, is procuring a coffee from specific, like China or Singapore or India or, some parts of the world, what happens is you never know the risk. You might have your production schedules in place. You will have your, distribution schedules and your, sales in place. But the thing is, unless you get the raw material, coffee beans from these suppliers whom you have a relationship, you will not know whether you will be able to produce or not. But what happens in a real world scenario after pandemic specifically, there is a lot of change that is happening in terms of, trade relationships or, in terms of the risks that are happening with respect to food safety or anything. So if you have to have that kind of a visibility, so you need to understand the supplier status, supplier financial status, and then how also the performance of the supplier in terms of orders and all. So how you get that visibility? You need to have a supplier risk assessment in place and to collect all the data. It is not possible humanly because it will take a lot of time. It's not that it is impossible, but it will take a lot of time. So that's where AI can help through like web scraping with respect to news, what is happening day-to-day scenarios, and where the shipment is, if already it is shipped through the process. So that's one area, and you can bring all this data, external data that's coming up from all these things, and then internal data in terms of what is the past performance and all. So that's how you can bring the supplier risk assessment framework and the supplier performance framework together so that you can understand whether you have to continue with the supplier, you have to diversify the suppliers. So that kind of a strategy you can devise based on this information. And also, if you are going into the negotiation process, it's not just the risk or resilience, but the price information you would be needing. And it is as per the changes that are happening at that particular point. So when you are sitting for the negotiation, so that digital negotiation support is, which is very much important in terms of the performance and what is available in the market apart from your current suppliers. So that is another part that you can bring, and that is very fast you can do with respect to the with the existing technologies. Yeah. With respect to contract life cycle management, very quickly I will just touch base upon because lot of aspects with the respect of with Gen AI. So you can actually read all the documents that you have in terms of legal, whether it's a compliant or not, any negotiation, that traceability you will have, and then you can bring that perspective into it.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think we help in risk mitigation and traceability in your procurement. Yes. That's a short. Exactly. I'll come to Arnab. So Arnab, what are the four, if you wanted to highlight the four big benefits out of digitalization or automation in procurement?
Yeah. So when we look at the benefits, we distinguish it in two different buckets. One is the productivity improvement. So this is easier to calculate, but more difficult to articulate to say that, okay, this is the return which we are getting. But it is easier to calculate. We can always say that, okay, if we are having this process and if we are digitizing it or automating it or doing some intelligent work in it, and it is going to save me whatever, 5 minutes per day to 50 hours per week to whatever. The other aspect, so this is one thing. So now what we are doing and many of the organizations are doing is rather than articulating it in the number of hours it is going to benefit, it is there, it will always be there. What is the additional thing that team or that workforce is going to do by getting that benefit? And that is the kind of direction which we are getting now, and I see it among many companies, not just in our companies, that okay, we do this, we get this much of benefit, we quantify it, very good, it's going to save me 12,000 hours per year, let's say. But then in that 12,000 hours, what is the additional thing this team is going to get me? So this is one. The other is the material benefit, and as I always say, in procurement it's easier because we are procuring. So if you are doing anything, it is always going to save you money. So that's the other benefit which we do, where we directly see the cost benefit or the savings benefit which we do, and obviously over a volume. Now that is getting benchmarked, and then the need of the hour or the direction from the leadership is more like, just like we have a year-on-year growth, similarly, do you have a year-on-year cost saving? And is it increasing? Because your technology is maturing. The generative AI of 2024 is very different from the generative AI of 2025. In generative AI of 2024, we were just talking about generative AI, using it for my productivity benefit. But now in 2025, we are talking about agents. And we are talking about agentic solutions, agentic AI solutions. Now, when this technology is maturing, how is it helping or translating it into business benefit? So this is the other aspect which is coming out more clearly.
If I rightly reiterate it, it's a cost saving, it's a supply assurance, risk mitigation, and maybe improvement in terms of customer experience.
Yeah, efficiency.
Yes, and efficiency.
So I'll come to Rupesh now. What are the key challenges we might face when we're adopting a technology or any digitalizing solution?
I think it's normally what we have seen, and we have seen success, we have seen failures also, right? Is a vision of the organization. Sometimes the management decide, okay, we want to go and do a digital transformation, and the vision is different from different, right? I was talking to Neeraj outside. Maybe 10 years back, digital transformation means was sending PO through email. Maybe around 15 years ago, from fax to email, now auto PO, right? Brijesh also touched about the auto PO, right? That's been a new normal for, right? So success, we have multiple success, but I think where we have seen the failure is only when they are not able to trickle down the vision. So why we are doing it, right? So adoption being always a challenge. You spend millions of rupees, right? Till the time all your stakeholders are not aligned, they are not well trained for adoption, it will not happen, right? And a lot of organizations, right, across sector, they have seen failure, they have struggled. Digital transformation journey, they planned for 1 year, they ended up in 3 or 4 years, right? So one of the things which we always suggest that we should have a kind of incentive for the stakeholders, for the actual users, right, to have a better adoption, right? So once we'll have their buy-in, I think things will move much fast. They should see how this is going to add value to their day-to-day life. I think a lot of organizations, stakeholders see more of an enemy rather than a tool, right? Till the time that gap is not covered, right, it is the tool to help them to do better, to improve, better work-life balance, right? So this struggle gonna be there. I think I'll summarize this more of a vision trickling down as a success, yeah.
So Rupesh rightly mentioned, the key is not getting a right tool. Sometimes we feel we invest X amount in an organization, it's a success. Success is implementing that right. I have seen many of the organizations invested a lot of money, but if you see on ground, the outcome is zero. After 3 years, they'll write up the value. That's the bigger challenge which we see in the market. We'll come to Brijesh. Brijesh, if you are looking for a supply chain disruptions or counterfeit challenges, how digitalization can help in avoiding that? Any kind of supply chain disruption or a counterfeit products?
See, basically, now lots of technologies are there which can help this. And in fact, definitely your industry is more matured, that is medical industry, in doing this. Because what is happening, the erstwhile we were using RFIDs to identify, later the barcodes have come. And now you see that scanners giving it. This all kinds of the things helps in ensuring the counterfeits in the products which definitely we face day in, day out. Yeah, Arnab, probably you wanted to say something.
Yeah. So basically for the counterfeit products, one of the best suited digital product is blockchain. And I have been, not recently, but previously I have been working on it mainly on the product provenance part. The product provenance part is where you kind of look at like, okay, from where this product is coming. The problem with blockchain is the cost. So you cannot use it for every product. So if you are buying a Louis Vuitton or a Gucci product, you will see that it is blockchain enabled. Or if you are using a speaker from Bose, it is blockchain enabled actually. But for a day-to-day life, counterfeiting products like how the counterfeit gets into the supply chain is interesting. If you see, mostly it comes from the contract manufacturers. Because when an order is placed on a contract manufacturer, the order is placed for certain amount or certain quantity. But the contract manufacturer makes more than that. And that is the precise reason where it gets injected into the supply chain. And once it gets into the supply chain, it's very difficult to control. So for any product provenance, it has to be controlled at the origin. And that origin is where it is getting manufactured. So when it gets manufactured, you tag it. And you tag it, and that unique tag number is put on the product, and that unique tag number is saved on the blockchain network. And that blockchain network, or rather, all the suppliers or all the retailers or all the wholesalers and all those things through which through the entire supply chain it traverses are a part of that network, and it authenticates that product, that this product is traveling from the manufacturer to this warehouse. It is on the ocean freight, it is going to the retailer and ultimately to the customer. So you can trace it all down. But this comes with a huge cost, humongous cost. So blockchain is one of the best use case for this counterfeiting products.
Brijesh and Hanuma rightly said, it's very important for a traceability. We have hundreds of examples. If you just read last 3 months newspaper, you will find n number of counterfeit incidents where life-saving drugs had been just changed with the nothing as powder.
Yeah, and if you look at these falsified medicines in Europe and what is that in US, there is the drug something is there, right? So these are all backed by blockchain nowadays.
Yeah. And in India, the biggest issue of adoption, cost is one. Second is the trust in the process, government system. Everyone, organization feel that my security should not go out. I have a key to success which someone knows it goes out, which is not the fact. If we go there, definitely it's going to benefit across for each citizen of India. I have seen one case where there's a one severe reaction reported to a mother. And when we have gone for reporting the incident, there's a reaction on with one drug, which is Thyronorm from Abbott. We filed the entire form, gone to report to company have denied this is not my product. That to Abbott. It's a big company where they have a all set system. And I procured from a distributor of Abbott. When we gone on deep, in a shortage, he have procured material from some vendor, where we don't have any traceability. All leading drugs are you find in, I don't want to name states and all, but you'll find the second copy or third copy of that. It's a fact, but so always we should buy from a reputed retailers or
in that, what we have done, we are again adopting that same traditional method, what you have just told, because we are prone to lots of C-class items and B-class items, and they are large in the quantity, large in the different SKUs, all that. But what we have done it of late, we have made mandatory to just buy it from the authorized distributors, even at the cost. Even at the cost, because there are some retailers who just come to get an entry or to do it a couple of % discount. And second, we have entered into the annual rate contracts or signed a bulk deal, aggregating deal with the principal manufacturers, and this is eliminating to major extent these kinds of counterfeits.
Agree with this. So I'll come to Arnab again. So how we are going to see the ROI of our investment in digitalization. If I'm going to my chairman, proposing something, how should I justify my ROI out of the investment?
Yeah, ultimately it means I just touched upon it before also. Like one is the productivity improvement, and you cannot put a dollar value or a rupee value to the productivity improvement. But one of the key aspects which is coming out now is if you are getting some time benefit, productivity benefit, what you are going to do in that, and that becomes something like a benchmark kind of thing that, okay, in 12,000 hours, which I am gaining from this particular effort, how I am going to translate it, and that may translate to something which we may try something new, which may give some dollar benefit. The other is calculating the dollar benefit. In procurement, it's, as I said, it's slightly easier because you are going to identify that, okay, how much cost you are going to reduce. The other aspects for the ROI is risk, reducing the risk. The other aspect is, apart from the risk, how you diversify so that you are able to get the, which is again a part of the risk only, how you are able to diversify your supply. Mainly now with the kind of conflicts which has come, the tariff which has come, the ask now is more around, can we have suppliers from different regions? Earlier we used to have suppliers like, okay, we want to have multiple suppliers, but now it is more like suppliers from multiple regions. We should have a supplier from Asia, we should have a supplier in Europe, we should have a supplier in North America. And these are all what is translating into some way or the other calculating the ROI.
Thank you. So Rupesh, you would like to?
So I'll just add in terms of impact. So maybe 3 or 4 years back, or 5 years back, we were doing close to $50 million or $100 million for procurement. And today we do almost around upwards of $500 million for procurement. That's where size. So his procurement size has gone almost around 100x, right? But in terms of the people, we have added around 2x or 3x. So that's just all backed by the technology, right? Touching what Arnab also mentioned, right? So investment is required. Definitely, as an organization, invested a lot into the product, into the AI, into automation, right? We're going to take maybe ROI, get another 5 or 6 years, but they're going to stay for rest of our life. We have to keep innovating it, right? But if we have the right case, I think ROI is much faster in AI and tech adoption.
Yeah.
Maybe just I'll add one point. They both rightly said. Only thing is the ROI is not directly proportional. It also depends on the maturity of the organization, right? So if everybody is like, if all the processes are manual and they are trying to digitalize, it may be 40%, 50%. But if you are already at a certain stage of digitalization, so the proportional amount of ROI would be less. So you have to really understand where you are and where you are trying to go, and then see what all the changes required and try to derive your ROI.
I agree, Hanuma. So we should see the step-by-step approach. When we are building a highways, we know where to build the highway. So Hanuma, I'll come back to you. What message you wanted to give to a organization or a person who's just starting their journey of digitalization? Just we are fetching the dust.
Yeah, just to continue on what I have said, there are multiple challenges the organizations have to face through, or even if they want to start the journey to the digitalization, there are certain key things that needs to be considered. The first one is they should have a strategy in terms of what they want to achieve. Need not be like you do everything at the point, but how you want to have your journey. So that's one point. And data is primary, that whether you have right amount of data, so that right amount and right quality of data, so that you can go with your journey. Third is the digital backbone, in terms of whether you have the processes already digitalized or you have to digitalize that also. And the fourth point is the processes itself have to be matured enough, or redesigned in such a way that you consider whichever strategy you want to go ahead. Don't start with what you have and then how I can put on top of it the digital. So you have to think through what you want to digitalize. If it is a AI, how AI native solution should look like, that you have to think through, than just trying to say I have this process where I can add my AI and then what benefit I can get. So that is another part that we need to take. Considering this, definitely the organizational change, the culture and the training of the people, which is, like we already talked about, adoption, which is a major problem. So these are the backbones. And then you start small, have a pilot. You have a strategy, but start small. Then see how the benefits are coming into your organization and then scale up. I think this is the way that you have to start your digitalization.
Agree, Hanuma. So I'll add this 2 lines on that. You are correctly mentioned, the foundation is really important. It's not we just talk on the how many floors we are building, how's the foundation. And if we are talking about foundation in any digitalization is data. If your master is crude, whatever prediction model, algorithm you're trying to build, it will be failed. I have seen multiple failures where they put good Python model. When they implemented, the accuracy was 60%, 70%, and which is rejected. So in healthcare, any model should be somewhere 85 to 90% accuracy. Where whatever we do, the input of data are your masters. Especially when you have a multi-level organization in multi-city, the master is a key concern. What same material will be having 3 nomenclature in different regions. So whatever model you will deploy, it will fail. It will give the partial accuracy. So let's, I think I'm getting a triggers, the time is over. So let's start with, end with one mantra from each one. What you wanted to give for supply chain leaders. Brijesh, start from you.
See, basically, the first and foremost is you need to change your outlook. Unless until you start changing your outlook and try to develop your skills for personal growth as well as professional growth, till then procurement systems cannot be changed. That is one which I just wanted to let know that yes, you need to have a long-term vision. You need to have a change management strategy, all that to ensure that you take it up to the next step.
For the AI journey, I would say it stands on 5 pillars. It stands on people, process, technology, data, and change management. You have to invest in people. the way the world is changing and the way the world is seeing new technology or the new things coming, the new disruptions coming, people has to be upgraded and we have to spend on it. In terms of technology, we can't stop it. It will keep coming. So the best is to keep us abreast with the technology. Process is something which is always going to change. We should not be hooked to the process. We should be able to adopt that this process is going to change. In terms of the data, most important, most critical, especially for digitization, for AI and for automation. And the last is change management. It is the most, I would call it the unsung hero. If we don't do it well, obviously you cannot start another journey for change without that proper change management.
Okay, I will quickly reiterate what I was talking about. Think AI native or think digital native solutions than, thinking what I already have and an incremental. Though you might start incremental, but your thinking has to be AI native and how to reach there. I think that's what I would say as a one.
I think we already have the best of solution. Yes, technology is here to change everything. Either we accept it, don't accept it, we close our eyes. It's up to us, right? We embrace it and move along with it. Only thing is, the journey, AI journey for each organization will be different, right? One fits for all doesn't work in technology. So even the two industries, I'll take example of, Brijesh is there, two infra companies. We have a team from Tata, we have so their journey will be totally different. Although they're in the same space, but since the organization DNA is different from one organization to another, right? So that's why technology or AI journey has to be different, right? So we should not try what someone has done successfully, try to just replicate as it is. So curate your own journey and implement, then success will be much faster and better.
Yeah, thank you everyone. I think we had a in-depth discussion, the diverse topics from different organizations. So let's start having a cross organization learning. Definitely what healthcare does may be learned by non-healthcare guys. What other guys are doing, we can learn the cross department or cross functional. And thank you everyone. Let's start day 0 of digitalization. Thank you. Yeah.
Okay, we have someone with a question.
Hi, so as Brijesh said, we are also in mid-journey. And Arnab touched the change management. And some of you talk of a vision and strategy. And not the senior leadership is aligned with the strategy and vision. But down the line, it comes as an extra job. Because we are used to a certain way of working. So as Ritik was saying, I have a set supplier, I have a set process. I know my PO can happen in 5 minutes. I don't know what process you have added. So my suggestion is, until unless every person get what value he is getting by implementing that at the last mile. I am a PO creator. How this digitalization will make my life better will drive the change management. So that's what my feeling and comment.
Yeah. Yeah, so I completely agree, and that's why I talked about this change management and we call them as the change champions. We need to have them, and we need to have those people from the grounds up. It cannot be like one person for the entire organization or one person for probably a team of 100 people. It will not work. It has to be people who are coming from the grounds up, and more importantly, those people should have the conviction that what they are doing is for the good. Because when you go and speak to the people who are actually getting impacted or who have to actually change, it's the conviction which you and the way you convince them matters more. And obviously, this conviction can only come from benefit. Why I am doing it? What is the benefit I am getting? From a senior leader, yes, he is very well aware of what we are going to get and what he is going to get. But probably at the grounds level, it's more like what they are going to get. What I have seen today is this AI, this buzzword of Gen AI and all those things, it has penetrated to every level of the company. So if you, today, what I see and what I sell also in a way is, if you are able to bring those people into your fold, that see, you are actually using generative AI, you are a part of that journey. Because this is something which has not been done, probably at that scale, and you are coming and you are pioneering it with us. Probably this way works. But it has to be at the ground level, otherwise success is not guaranteed without them.
Yeah, just to add one point. See, erstwhile we were just talking about the buzzword of change management whenever the new process comes. But now this change management has to be added with the people management, because you are playing with the comforts of them, because they have been working into the same situation. Now you have to get them out of that systems. It's only through the training and proper skill enhancement which you can add it up and elevate them to align with your vision and objectives. Yeah, that's it.
I would like to add one thing here. Sorry, I'm taking more time. But one thing which worked for us is, generally, you have to spend time with people and the people who are going to use. What happens is, we will have a UAT kind of thing, or a factory acceptance test, or user acceptance test, and that's it. So now what I have done is, I have changed that and I have made it as a UAT window. I no longer have a UAT of 1 time or 2 time. We have a UAT window where I give my users, and it can be scale of users, 2 weeks, 3 weeks time. We will have touch points in those 3 weeks, but we expect you to come and use the system, and there will be a touch point every day for 30 minutes where you can come and tell us why it is not working for you, or whatever is the problem we are facing. That is working for us. But the reason, or the generalization, if I have to do, I will say, you are partnering with the people. It's not that you are giving a training. Yes, we have trained before the UAT. Now we are giving the system to them to use it. And then you tell us, where is your problem? We will try to sort it out as much as possible. I always say, unless and until it's a design change, I am ready to do it. And that works. So that is something which I would like to share.
I think I'll just add a very, very small piece or bigger impact. Adoption, we are talking the technology as an organization. We have to see the new generations coming up, right? Their thought process is totally different that I see is a millennial generation is different than the new Gen Z is coming, right? The Gen Z is not going to use it because someone has decided at the top to adopt this technology. It is very clear. Till the time the new generation is not convinced how this is going to add value and how going to help on a day-to-day life, the adoption will not happen, right? The previous generation, we could have done it. Okay, someone has decided, the boss ne bola hai, karna hai to karna hai, right? Nowadays, it's not going to happen, right? So new generation has to see the value, what value brings to their life, their personal life, professional life, then adoption will be much easier.
Thank you.
Good morning. I am Padmavati from Tata Projects. To entire panel, I am facing, we have different business units like OGH, M&M, for power generation. The verticals are very different. And when we start identifying for digitization as well as for AI tools to use, it's like piecemeal. We are trying to patch up with the systems. But when we see holistically, they are diversified. And the cost comparisons to AI tools, generating AI tools or digitization, we are spending something. And when we see holistically, there are common processes taking it out, it is something different. What do you suggest in the cost aspect? Manual processes may 200 crores of 5 years if we spend on manpower. And generating holistical AI tool also is similar cost. So what is your view on that? Hope I am clear in my question.
Yeah. So if you ask me, I would say that organization should always have a 5 years plan. We should not go with piecemeal. Every department will come, some thought, they have seen some insight, and they'll come with the plan of digitalization, one process. So we should not talk on a process, we should talk on organization level. And definitely, is a long term, it pays. It's not when we compare from digitalization journey to a manpower plan, there's a win situation. You want to add anything?
No, I think we should take it offline. I hope it's okay.
All right.
Thank you, everyone.
Check. Thank you. Any more questions? Probably you all can take it during the break time. So we would like to felicitate you all, and I request Ms. Priyanka Ghosh, Director Sales, Movement Singh, to please come upon the stage and felicitate our moderator and panelists present on the stage. Everyone, please applaud for them. Dr. Neeraj, Dhabhai. Please keep applauding, everyone. Mr. Rupesh Kharbanda. Miss Hanuma Pogaru. Dr. Arnab Banerjee. And Mr. Brijesh Kabra. Request all of you to get together for a group picture along with your certificates. Ma'am, you as well, all of you together.